How early is too early to tune a new car? Uh, should I make it through the break-in
I mean,
period?
we've had cars in the low double digits getting flashed.
Yeah, being tuned has nothing to do with break-in. Break-in is how you drive the car. So you could still flash it, and breaking in is whatever the recommendation is not to rev over a certain RPM or a certain throttle load or something like that. I personally don't really subscribe to break-in. I drive cars hard right out of the box. Um,
Yeah,
Cars I
and
drive always have great compression
time and time again,
dynamics.
the motors we have here tend to be that some of the happier
Yeah.
examples we come across, and we're not
The reality is,
not
if
prescribed.
a motor is built properly, it will break in the first few seconds of running. And I think a lot of kind of this extended break-in lore, conventional wisdom, was from poorly built engines that needed a lot more time to break in, and so these engine builders just keep saying, "Yeah, go drive them," and you need 1,000 miles, blah blah blah, and eventually it either kind of breaks in a little bit more, or the customer kind of moves on and forgets about
Right.
it.
And I guess the other thing there is like, what does your dealer say when you buy a new car? Are they giving you a prescribed break-in
I've
period?
never been told
Seen that.
anything,
And these OEMs have like,
but there are.
There's a BMW 7 Series with a V8 that in the first 1,000 miles you're supposed to redline it 10 times
right.
in the owner's.
Yeah.
And
Well, that's
no one did
wonderful.
it. And
Yeah.
now the 60,000 miles need like
Yeah. Because
Someone has an M4 competition, and there's 1,000-mile break-in.
and that's what I was about to say. There's so many OEM controls on these ECUs. They know the mileage. They know how
I think it's totally prevent.
how long in the tooth
Right.
these motors are. So
Yeah.
they can, if there's a break-in process, they'll bake it into the ECU, and you'll be limited on your shift points, your throttle, your load. But that's not a thing,
No, so I mean,
at least
I
on these vehicles we're talking about.
I've worked with a lot of brand new built motors, and I've done compression and leak down tests where the motor is brand new. The motor had terrible compression and leak down, and we started it and idled it for 5 seconds, 10 seconds, revved it up a few times, shut it off, and it's like perfect compression. and leak down.
Generally, our built motor stuff when we were racing time attack car, it was a couple hours in the dyno with a break-in oil, and that was it. We were done.
Yeah, and then that's with braking.
That's with a break-in oil. That's on a machine motor.
Then
Talking
you
to our machinist,
drain it
different
out.
tolerances for
Put good oil in it and go. But there, I'm sure there's people heads are exploding listening to what I'm saying right now. And there's people with like religious rituals about breaking in with incense driving on the freeway. I just don't buy into that. So if a motor is built correctly, you're not going to be able to fuck it up. It will break in and it will be fine.
If your builder is telling you there's a break-in procedure and there's a reason for it, that's one thing. But mass-produced stuff like this,
A lot of times they're just trying to buy more time on why the motor is not sealing.